All right, howdy everybody. This is James, and let's see, we're going to try something new today. We are in the tech booth right now, or the ranch office, and what I'm going to do is walk outside, and we're going to meet Ashley, and then we're going to see if we can have her start to harrow the pasture. So I'm going to do a little ride along with her, and just going to make sure she feels comfortable driving the truck. She says she's only driven stick shift a couple times, so this should be interesting. Fortunately for her, the truck is very forgiving. It's got a nice, easy clutch. And once you get the truck in first gear and get it going smooth, it practically just rolls right along without a whole lot of intervention. So, and we'll be traveling you know, fairly slow. It won't be a quick ride through the pasture at all. So should be a good time. I've got a microphone on me. Hopefully my phone connection stays good and everything will be ship shape and satisfactory for the broadcast. If not, I'm sure somebody will let me know about it when we get back. So right now, walking up to the truck here. Ashley's patiently waiting. She's tied down some hay bales, and I think we're ready to go. What do you think, Ashley?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, here's what we've got here with the harrow set up. We've got these hay bales on the back for some extra weight, and that'll hold everything down so we get things broken up nice and well with the manure and everything. So just so we don't assume anything, Ashley, let's go ahead and have you crawl in. And I'll get you mic'd up when I get in on the other side. Let me see if I can turn the camera around here for a second. All right, so Ashley, you've said you've driven stick
a whole 2 times.
Whole 2 times, okay. So here's how this works. You've got your extra pedal on the floor. That's the far left pedal. Well, that one's the e-brake, but the other pedal is the clutch.
Right.
Okay. So to start a standard drive vehicle, you want to push that all the way down and hold it in, and then you can put your foot on the brake when you do it, so you don't go anywhere, and then go ahead and turn the key and start it on up. Okay, now keep that clutch pedal in, keep your foot on the brake, and go ahead and you can pull that gear shift back into the neutral position. Where we had it earlier was in first gear. No, the large one, yep. So pull that back, there you go. Oh, push it back up a little bit, there you go. See how it kind of wobbles around there in the middle? That's full neutral. Now you can let that clutch pedal out. There you go. And it wouldn't go anywhere because we took it out of gear. Now the E-brake, if we were to push that down all the way, that would of course put the emergency brake on, and there's a little release handle down here that you can pull the brake release if we ever needed to. So normally what we do is keep it in first gear when it's parked, and that acts as kind of a natural brake on it. All right, so the trick is being coordinated when you run the clutch and the gas and the gear shift all at the same time. So we can do a little bit of a test here, just keeping it slow. And if you want to put the clutch in all the way and put the transmission in first gear, so that's up and to the left. Okay, that's in. And then take your foot off the brake. Since we're on flat ground, the truck's not going to go anywhere. So normally what you'd want to do is let out very gently on the clutch and then just very gently put on the gas. In this truck, it's very forgiving. You can practically creep in first gear without doing anything with the gas pedal. So I'm going to stand back a little bit, but go ahead and let out very slowly. And as soon as you start to feel it move, push it back in. We're just going to do a quick little test with the clutch, just so you can see what kind of travel there is on it. Nope, just let the gas where it is and slowly let out on the clutch. It'll start to engage partway through, and you'll feel where that travel, how far it takes before it goes in. You can hear the engine. There you go. Now push it in. Okay. So what's going to happen is if we don't apply just a little bit of gas, it'll kill the engine and whatnot. But so you can see right where that threshold is, right? So go ahead and push it all the way in, and then, yep, start the engine. All right. I'm going to go ahead and crawl in on the other side. You can put the transmission neutral. There you go. Back. There you go. Right there. Nope. Right. Nope. Right there. And you should be able to feel it go all directions pretty smoothly. It's not going to be like right. Well, yeah, right. Yeah, it's a matter of perspective depending on how long that handle is, really. So, all right, you can take the clutch out now. Perfect. I'm going to go and crawl in on the other side. All right. Let's see if I can get back into driving mode. I think I went offline there for a second. All right, I'm going to give you that microphone. That'll allow us both to be mic'd up. All right, so clutch all the way in and transmission first gear. And then you're going to slowly let up on it. And then you'll apply just a little bit of gas at the same time. Not a lot. It's okay, a little bit of gas, let up, a little bit of gas, let up. There you go. Yep, that's the right transition. A little more gas. And if you feel it starting to lug the engine, just put the clutch back in.
Okay. I think it's already in first.
Yep. There you go, a little bit of gas. There you go. Okay. Yeah, and when you feel it start to go, the temptation is just let it out all the way. You want to keep that smooth release, but then the smooth pressure on the gas pedal. There you go, a little more gas. Yep, no, it's close. And then, yeah, when you feel it start to go, you can give it just a little more gas and then just keep that slow release on the clutch. If you need to keep it in the middle a little bit, you can. You can kind of feather it, but we want to avoid that too much. There you go, a little more gas. There you go. Close. Yep, that sounds right. There you go. There you go. Now you're going. You're in first gear. Take your foot off the clutch and the gas, and we can practically just go like this forever. Now we're a little bit fast, but let's go ahead and put the clutch in when you put the brake on. Clutch all the way down, brake in. If we were just to push the brake, the engine would stop.
Okay.
Because the transmission's still trying to say go, go, go,
Yeah.
right? So we want to, when we apply the brake, we typically also apply the clutch at the same time. Okay. Now, the trick is when you get to these corners and you make the bend, it's all about applying that slowly. And fortunately with this, you can go pretty darn slow with it. It's not really too big of a deal. You can lug that down just a little bit because it's in first gear. So you've got the clutch in all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have been in third gear.
Oh.
So that's fine. These transmissions are pretty amazing and they're low geared. Now, if you try to let out the clutch a little bit, it'll probably respond a little better. It might creep a little slower. Seemed like we were going fast at the time. There you go. Now let up on the gas. Okay. And then just let up on the gas some more. You don't need much. In fact, you don't even need to push the gas when you're in first gear. Now slowly make the turn. Yeah, we were in third gear earlier. I thought we were going a little fast. Okay, great. And we've got the harrow back there with the hay bales coming along. We got Boona running along beside us. And then we'll get up here into the corner and we'll just make a slight turn to the corner. And once you get going with this, as you can see, it's actually a pretty easy ride. That wasn't so bad, was it?
No, we're still alive.
We're still alive.
Nothing blew up.
Hey, Boona. All right, so basically we just go like this the whole time. We're not doing anything super fast. All we're doing is breaking up all these piles of manure and traveling around the perimeter here. And then we'll just keep going in a circle the whole time.
Work my way in.
Yep, absolutely. And we want to watch for anything that looks unusual. If there was a fence post down or a massive boulder, we've been walking around in here. There's really nothing to worry about.
Yeah, the horses are out here every day, so I'm out here every day looking around for stuff.
Yeah, so that's in pretty good shape. So we're about to make our first pass here. And we'll keep going around all the way in a circle, and when we get to the other side here, we'll get to the other far corner. You can go all the way over there. Yeah. We'll go all the way to the other corner, and then we'll go ahead and do another start-stop exercise here just to make sure get more comfortable with the clutch and everything. Now with the harrow that we've got back there with those tines sticking down into the dirt, they're breaking everything up really well. We've got the hay bales on top holding it down. But if we didn't have all that there and for some reason we didn't see the harrow, we would not want to back up. That could be bad news for the truck, the harrow and tires and everything else. So, and the harrow is actually a little bit narrower than the truck. So just so you know, when you're making circles, you'll want to do a little bit of an overlap. So right now we're running a little wide because we didn't catch this part closest to the fence. So that's good. It might be kind of hard to see from this camera view, but it definitely tears stuff up. breaks up all those manure piles. All right, so we can, yeah, we can just keep going along the fence here a little bit. It looks like we got a big gopher hole up there, huh?
Yeah. Think I can drive through that?
Oh, sure.
It's just dirt.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Give him something to work on later.
What's this thing?
So what's up ahead here, that's the old perch. So it was in concrete, and then we put in this new metal perch, the steel pole for the osprey to eat their dinner on. So it's pretty much just driving like this all day. And when we get done with this one, we can probably go do the north pasture. And today's a great day to do it because it hasn't been super wet and rainy, so we're not going to tear up the dirt too much, and it's not so bone dry that it stirs up a ton of dust. So it's a good day to be doing this. All right, let's go ahead and we'll pull in alongside parallel this next track that you want to do. And remember, we want to kind of do some overlap here. So this is, yeah, this is about right. All right, so go ahead and stop. You want to put the clutch all the way in and then brake. Yep, there you go. All right, so we'll do this again to make sure you're comfortable starting and stopping. So we'll start in neutral. There's neutral. And we'll go through the gears. This obviously rotates around, so if you want to make sure the gear shift points in the right direction, you can. Once you get the feel for it, it's no big deal. So let's cycle through the gears. Clutch is all the way in, foot's on the brake. So first gear is all the way over and up. That's first gear. Okay, back to neutral. Second gear is straight down from first gear. So there's second gear. That allows you to go a little bit faster than up, and then right in the middle, there's third gear. Straight down from there is fourth. Up, over, and up is overdrive. That would be if we're on the highway. And then if you want to go to reverse, reverse is a little bit different. It's all the way over. It gives you a little extra spring-loaded action, okay, so you know you're going into reverse, right?
That's overdrive.
Yeah, oftentimes you have to let it set in neutral before you bring it back to reverse. It's kind of a safety mechanism to allow you not to hit reverse while you're going full speed. So just get used to where first gear and second gear is. A lot of people in the old Ford trucks, they like to run, they'll run it in second gear all day long. I mean, well, to start out, they'll start in second because they're so low geared. But for doing the harrowing and pulling trailers and that low torque stuff, it's great just to creep along in first gear. Okay. Now, when we go out and feed in the wintertime with bales in the back, you'll just use first gear and creep along in the pasture and then stop. You'll come out, throw a bale of hay, and then come back in and drop it that way. All right, so you're in first gear now, and we want to go. So foot off the brake and foot coming off the clutch, and just you're gently pushing in the gas. Okay, so the gas is that was a little bit heavy on the gas because we lurched just a little bit. Not bad, but just a little bit.
The Subaru that I learned to drive in the first time, that is really a lurcher.
Yeah.
It's a lot more sensitive than this is.
Yeah, this one's way more forgiving. All right, let's try this again here. Yep, perfect. That was a perfect stop. And we're still in first gear. And then slow clutch release. And with this, you don't have to give it a lot of gas, just enough to keep it from lugging the engine. There you go. And if it does that, you can stick the clutch back in. Basically what that is it's trying to catch the gear and it's not quite enough gas to catch it. So you can put the clutch in and it'll take that out a little bit.
Kind of overlap where I was before.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine if you keep that tire over the line, then the harrow's going to fall in right on track.
It's a good thing I'm a good driver otherwise.
You're doing great. After that workout you had riding, I'm sure your legs are almost feeling shot, so you're gonna start kind of twitching here pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to get can't be getting another cutting out of that, but maybe he's gonna turn the cows loose on it and finish them before fall. I don't know.
Yeah, the first time I learned to drive manual was in my grandpa's Saturn Ion, and it didn't have reverse. So, like, if we got stuck on a hill or you went into a parking spot or something, we had to Flintstone it backwards.
Oh my!
Like, open the doors, put our feet out, and push it backwards. It was interesting.
Like the reverse just didn't work?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
Wow.
You could put it in reverse and it just wasn't going to go anywhere.
Wow.
It was like $3,000 to get it fixed. So he put it off for as long as he could, and then finally his driveway was inverted, so it went down onto a hill. And there was one day where he got it in there and we like basically couldn't get it back out, so he had to get a tow truck.
Wow.
To come pull it out, and he was like, "That's it, I'm fixing it."
That's amazing. Yeah, that's kind of a required component of a transmission, I feel like.
Yeah. So if he parked anywhere, it had to be a spot where you could pull through.
Right.
And he could just go straight on after.
Man. All right, well, I'll turn the corner here and we'll do another start-stop or stop-start.
Clutch, brake.
Yeah, nice and smooth. Perfect.
This one's nice and smooth.
Okay, so what's happening is you're letting out a little, once it catches, you're letting out a little fast. So just kind of slow it up once you feel it catch. So there's a little bit of travel. You get about, maybe 6 inches of travel on that before it starts to, you can hear it in the engine too. So you let it out, and then when you start to feel it, that's when you apply the gas just a little bit and then let out smooth.
Okay. So let it come up first before I do any gas, or should I?
Yeah, you can generally hear once you get the feel for it. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Smooth. There it is. That's about right. And if it jerks a little bit like that, you can always either put the clutch in and start over, or you can push it in just a little bit and smooth it out.
Okay. Is it gonna hurt the truck if it lurches like that?
Not necessarily. There's a few things that can happen with the clutch. You can smoke the clutch. It'll burn it up a little bit. And what happens there is when you leave the clutch kind of right in the middle and you bounce it back and forth without pulling it all the way out or pushing it all in, that'll actually cause it to smoke it, because you're putting in too much gas and you're spinning that clutch up, but it's right in the middle, so it hasn't caught those gears appropriately yet. So that clutch plate's just spinning around and they're getting really hot. And you can smell it. It'll smell kind of like brakes would smell if you really scorch your brakes.
Speaking of brakes, I'm getting brakes done and alignment in my car tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to paying for that.
Well, it's good to get it done though. It'll get better gas mileage probably.
And especially for winter.
Yeah, for sure. So you're smelling a little bit of the transmission there, just a touch of it. And a lot of that had to do, it was mostly with the gas, so it was a little too much gas at that point. So we can try it again here on this stretch. Yep, right there. Perfect. That was perfect. And this truck is really forgiving because in first gear, it just crawls.
Yeah.
So it's not too big of a deal if you know, it's probably better to not give it enough gas than to give it too much. Okay. Because the worst thing that can happen if you don't give it enough, it'll just stall out. Right. Whereas if you give it too much gas, you can start to jerk it around, it'll lurch, and it could smoke the clutch if you're not careful.
It's crazy how each one is so different. What you need to do with it.
Yeah, some cars are really touchy. I remember learning how to drive in my dad's truck, very similar to this one, actually, old Ford, and drove that for a while, got pretty comfortable, and then a teacher in high school let me drive his car. And I was like, I couldn't even drive anymore. I thought, what is going on here? Can't figure out this clutch. But that's what happens when you're new to it. Everyone is very different somehow. The next lesson in working a clutch will be when we get on a hill, because you've got to be able to let that clutch out just right so that you don't roll all the way back while you're letting it out. So you've got to be a little bit faster, and there's a trick that you can use with the e-brake to help you with that. So you can keep your foot off the brake and on the gas and still have brake with the e-brake, but you got to be coordinated with all four limbs.
I give major props to people who drive manual cars in San Francisco.
Oh, driving in the city, yeah, manual in the city. And in Europe, they most people only have standard transmission cars in Europe, it seems like, and they're all over the place.
Hills that are there.
Oh, it's nuts.
We drove a Honda Element to San Francisco up and down those hills, and even that was difficult to drive.
Yeah.
I cheated to the left around this scratch hole.
And I like going slow with this with the Harrow. It takes some time, but we're not damaging anything back there. It's not like bouncing stuff back and forth. And yeah, it's just easy going. It's doing its job.
Yeah, because if you were pulling with a tractor, it would be super slow anyways.
Right, yeah. This isn't a race. And on a day like today, you can just soak in the sights.
Just need some lemonade or something. We need to drink.
Yeah, that's right. Where's our catering service? So yeah, I think you got the hang of this pretty good. The winter pasture takes a long time to harrow. It's huge. This is, what are we looking at here? Maybe a couple acres.
I think this is 5 acres.
And
football field.
And the south pasture is 20 acres. So that's a lot going on.
I'll do it. I'll get paid to do it.
That's right. We'll have to go check it out. I don't know if it needs to be done before winter or not. But
I don't know, but there's also a lot of stuff on the ground that we would have to move and watch out for.
Yeah.
Some like homes and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of training material out there. Yeah.
Christine and I rode over there. So how do you know what point you need to switch it from first to second?
When you're ready to go faster. There's also a RPM meter there, gauge, and typically it's around 2,000 RPM. So when it hits 2, you generally upshift. If you're really wanting to move it a little bit more on the road or whatever, and yeah, you can practice with that a little bit later. If we do too much faster in this, we'll start bouncing our harrow and doing all that. I'm going to go ahead and let you let me out here. I think you're good to go. So I'll get the mic back from you, and then I'll watch you do your thing. We got that. We got that. Perfect. And if anything comes up, give me a call, but we'll be watching.
Okay. I'll throw some music on and
All right.
I'm
Nice
not
work.
stopping after this.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. All right. There she goes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.